Hey guys, it's Meg, back for another video that's a little different but still within the realm of BJDs. As we all know, finding the right eyes for our dolls can be kind of difficult, especially when we have a vision. It's either not the right size, or it's not the right color, or maybe the dome is too high. Whatever it is, sometimes it's easier just to make your own. So recently I bought eye molds and a resin kit off of Amazon, and I will try to link these in the description if I can get them. I think one of them was sold out, but I know my friend Angela, Lady Bacha, has been making her own eyes and selling them in her Etsy shop for a while. I think she did just close her shop though. So I figured I would try my hand at it. Honestly, it's a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. There is no smell to this resin. The only thing that actually smells is the colorant there, that little white bottle in the corner. It's a bit messy, but it's actually really easy to clean up. This little blue mat that came with the kit was a godsend. So yeah, honestly, these turned out pretty well. The larger ones that I made, which are 14mm, were too dark, but I think that's mostly because I used too large of a half round for the pupil. But the other two turned out actually really, really well. So now my dolls will actually have the eyes that I like see in my head, which is great. I love it. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the process. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Honestly, this is kind of like self-explanatory of a process. There's not a whole lot that you have to do. So for adding the colorant, because I just bought white, but you can buy other colors, I added 2 drops in the first batch that I made, but it was not white enough. It wasn't solid enough. So now I add about 3, sometimes 4 if there's a lot of resin in the cup, but otherwise it's just about 2 to 3 drops of color. And then I mix it real well in the little pouring cup with the silicone tools that they sent, and then I just pour it in the mold. One thing I will suggest though, the other tool that I had came to a little tapered point. I started using that to like tuck the resin down into the little crevice where the concave eye part is, and it reduced the bubbles around that area quite a lot. So I would highly recommend using it to, if you buy this kit, using it to like tuck the resin into the little crevices, because it eliminates the bubbles around the I guess the iris. And then I take a lighter and just gently run it over the mold and the resin to remove any bubbles. I'm sure you've already seen this if you watch any doll customizers. The next thing is to get the little light that came with the kit, and I actually use this for about 3 minutes on each side. And honestly, they turned out really well. There's a few minor bubbles, but nothing that is going to bother for my purposes. Next is paint. Now I do apologize for the bad angle. I'm still trying to get the hang of my new camera. At first it wouldn't refocus on other things. Now I can't seem to get a good placement for it so that it can see everything. I'll figure it out in the long run. Anyway, what I'm basically doing is taking some folk art acrylic paint, and I'm just painting in the iris area. So the first pair I wanted to be brown, so I'm using kind of like a gold chocolate color. These are the ones that turned out way too dark. I do believe it is because the half round that I used for the pupil was too big, and it doesn't let in enough light. I will be remaking these because I think I'm going to give a pair like these to Lorian. Her eyes are brown. I just can't seem to find the right color brown. These do take a couple coats. Now you can spray these with MSC to use like chalk pastels. However, the outside of the eye, the sclera area, will end up getting very matte, and it won't have a normal shine. I suppose you could coat it with something else, but I didn't want to, so I'm just doing it this way. I set them aside to dry, and then I just keep adding more coats. So for these, I've already actually designed them the way I wanted and put the half rounds in. Now I'm just adding the resin for the dome. And as you can see, as I'm adding the resin, it is darkening them. I don't know who will end up using these, but somebody will at some point. But for now, they're okay. Then again, the lighter to remove some bubbles, and then the UV lamp. So these are 10 millimeters that I decided to make. What I did is I painted them in that fuchsia pink. Then I added some metallic purple lines, and now I'm adding some of the mica powder that Angela sent me. And these actually are probably my favorite pair that turned out. I have the smallest half round for the pupils, and I'm just dabbing in a little bit of the mica powder into the iris and the pupil area. It actually creates a rather nice shimmer. The only thing, if you don't have the half rounds like stuck down with maybe a little bit of paint or a little dab of glue underneath, they will move when you pour the resin in for the dome. So that can be kind of annoying. And sometimes the mica powder will lift if you're not careful. So I just take a little bit of purple paint and dab it into the center and then place the half round on top of it. This holds it in place long enough as I dome them so that it doesn't move and it doesn't cause any bubbles underneath it. And this is just my eraser. I mean, I use it for face-ups, but the end is, you can get it kind of tacky, and I use an old sculpting tool to kind of adjust the placement of the pupil. And then again, you just get ready with the resin to dome them and then put them under the light. I was actually really surprised at how easy and quick it is to make eyes, especially to the quality that I want them. I used to buy eyes from Tales from the Shrike, and I loved their eyes. I still actually have three or four pairs. Tamsin's eyes are Tales from the Shrike eyes, and I absolutely love them. But they don't make eyes anymore, and I couldn't really find anybody else who had eyes that I liked that would come in a small enough size, because Cedra, Cade, and Deacon all wear like 8mm eyes. So the only option really is to just make my own. And I do have a mold for 6 and 8mm, so I actually have from 6 up to 18, which is great. Because who knows? Maybe I'll get another SD and make eyes. I do have an old Minifee Wusu coming, and she might get these eyes right here, so we'll have to see. But in all honesty, these turned out pretty good, even the ones that were too dark. So, yeah, now I can make eyes. The only thing I can't make for my dolls now are shoes. Oh well. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.